all those in favor, thanks for coming out today. My goal is to try and get Baylor to crash out.
It's not happening.
It's going to work.
I'm not doing it, dude. I'm not
get
crashing
him.
out.
I'm going to get him because today we have some interesting material to cover. Because I was scrolling YouTube, as I do. I was eating my lunch in the Wilkinson Center at BYU, just enjoying some nice Wendy's.
Okay.
Time to myself, my headphones. I was writing some notes, and I said, I'm going to put on a nice video about church history. And this one came up on my feed from this. So this guy on the left runs History Valley, the YouTube channel. He's got like 46K subs. And I see that he's interviewing someone about Mormonism. So I'm thinking, surely this is some kind of expert, right? Surely this is someone who knows what they're talking about.
My name is Baylor, just to be clear. But yeah. Baylor, this is some kind of expert. My name's not Shirley, bro. You keep calling me that. It's like pissing me off. It's like making me like actually mad. Like we've been doing this for how long? You don't know my name.
Surely you must be joking.
Anyways, keep going. It's whatever.
Once you get over it and stop being mad, I'll keep going.
Okay.
Are you good?
I'm good.
Okay. So then I see this guy named David Fitzgerald. Okay. Have you ever heard of David Fitzgerald?
No. But
so I hadn't either. So I said, let's see what this guy has to say. And a little bit into the video, we get this clip. So just go ahead and click play.
All
right. Yeah. Did they ever figure out what these tablets really are? Did anyone look at them? Did anyone see them?
No one saw them. No one looked at them. And in fact, church doctrine is built on the fact that there was 3 witnesses, and then there was another 8 witnesses, and they all said they saw them and handled them and read them.
It gets worse. No one saw them. But, we have, there's 11 people who saw them. So we're not, there were worse things up to this point, but this is the worst part of the video.
I'm sure he's about to say, though, like, why they didn't actually see them, right?
Yeah.
And could vouch for them. And then years later, they accidentally let it slip. One of them, Martin Harris, said, well, I didn't actually see it because otherwise we'd instantly die. But I saw it with the eye of faith, just like I could see, a pin in a pin.
Dude, this is the worst. This is the worst thing the Antis ever came up with.
Just keep it going. Okay. It gets worse.
Okay. Case or a city through a mountain. And the moment he did that, instantly 5 high church officials said, all right, we're out of here. Boom. And left the church forever and never came back.
Have you ever, we've read a lot on this subject. Have you ever heard of that in your life?
Dude, to quote a prominent owl, who said that? Sorry, that was bad.
I don't want to say he's just making it up, but I would have seen that. So, like, the second Martin Harris says that he saw it with the eye of faith, not to mention that that's like 2 quotations out of like 600 of the witnesses that
2
say...
2 quotations from like antagonistic sources.
See this? I saw it as clear as this. See this? I saw it as clear as this.
Look at your hand. The same way you see your hand, I saw the plates.
Yeah, and then freaking David Whitmer is like, no, I saw it as sure as I saw you right there. Like I wasn't in a it was literally just as plain to me as was at any other moment. That's literally what he said. And this guy says that the second Martin Harris accidentally let it slip, like it was a secret that they accidentally let out. 5 high church officials left and never came back. No mention of who, no citation, nothing. So I said, wow, this guy really knows what he's talking about. So I looked him up, and he actually wrote an entire book on Mormonism. And it's your lucky day.
Why do they always do this?
It's your lucky day. I got you a present.
Oh, wow.
The Mormons by David Fitzgerald. I got you a copy of this book, and we're gonna go through some of it today.
I wish it was by Larry Fitzgerald.
Oh,
it's a good art. It's a good Angel Moroni on the front. I like that.
So this book is self-published. I don't know if he just couldn't get anyone to publish it, but he just put it out himself.
Look at the people on the back. So you've got some atheist guy, and then it's former Mormon elder Brian Dalton. It's like, wow, Brought in the big dogs.
It's ridiculous how
he
they
got
always
an
do
elder.
that. And
he's just 18.
and you should see all the testimonials in there. It's like, it's just basically all his like atheist friends in an echo chamber. It's like the atheist rational guy blog says this is the best book ever written.
This is fascinating.
And yeah, I have some little excerpts that we're going to be going through together.
Okay.
You have the little pictures on your
I
tab there. But I wanted to just I want to read what he says right at the beginning here. Okay. So this is what you see whenever anyone assumes they are the smartest person ever. This is how he starts his book. He says, anyone interested in the truth of Mormon claims will find this book a useful resource, but do be aware that the audience will be assumed throughout to be non-believers, atheists, agnostics, and other free thinkers. If you are a Mormon who leads a happy and fulfilled life in your faith, I'm sincerely happy for you, and I have no bone to pick with you. I will not think less of you for not wanting to read any further. I'm out.
Wow, man, that's really scary.
Because we're happy Mormons who lead our best lives.
We're somewhat happy.
So we shouldn't.
So
I don't think we should read any further because it sounds like this guy is the smartest dude ever, and he's just gonna like ruin everything.
It's a good point. And even if you're just a believer of anything, if you're not a free thinking atheist,
yeah, free thinking me. And also, I looked into this. This guy doesn't believe Jesus existed.
No,
he's a Jesus denier. That is not free thinking. That is being hopelessly lost. Like that is like a hopeless position to take. And so this super rational free thinker is gonna give us some stuff to think about. But you can go ahead and start going into the passages of this book. I've selected some that I thought would be interesting to you.
I'm a little scared though. Like you know what you're doing, right? Like I'm living a happy life, and you're putting me in this position.
All those in favor, thank you for tuning in to today's video.
Like, do you have a bone to pick with me, man? So, this one first?
So, he goes into the court case of Joseph Smith from 1826. And guess what? He found the verdict.
Wow.
He's the first ever historian to find the actual verdict.
It's a big discovery.
So he actually should be winning a Nobel Prize for this self-published
or at least
garbage.
A Mormon Studies Prize.
Let's read this. Then in 1971, the original 1826 court record was discovered in a basement of a county jail in Norwich, New York. Notice how he says the original 1826 court record, and then swipe to the next. And it says it proved he was operating as a con artist. So this is what he has here. He says this is the original court record. This is a court bill. It basically just has like what was on, like what they were going to work with that day.
Okay.
And he thinks it's the court record that proves he was convicted.
He just can't read cursive, but he's like, I'm pretty sure this is it.
I don't know. Like, I think he's just like overselling his case. Like, I genuinely think he just doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah. Also, like, if that's a year in the bottom right, that looks like either 1835 or 1825. But yeah.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Can you read that little paragraph at the bottom? Just zoom in on that. Mormon spin doctors like Gordon Madsen and LDS Historical Department Manager Richard Turley tried to mitigate the damage from this discovery by pointing to Stoll's adamant refusal to admit that he had been deceived or defrauded. They even contended that Joseph Smith was not, go to the next one, found guilty and discharged, echoing statements by early Mormon leaders like Oliver Cowdery, who in 1835 said that although Smith had been accused, the charges were groundless and he was honorably acquitted. Cowdery was only telling half the truth in 1830. Smith was twice rearrested for failure to abide by the conditions of his release. At both legal proceedings, he was acquitted on grounds that the statute of limitations had run out on the original charges. Besides, if they had known about Cowdery's 1835 statement, it's difficult to accept their longstanding insistence that he had never been a trial Sorry.
That
There had never been a trial at all in the first place, but the facts of the trial records are indisputable. Joseph Smith was found guilty of fraud. Where's the evidence? He just has that Joseph Smith was tried of fraud. That's been agreed upon this whole time. He doesn't know what that document that he's citing is, and he's just assuming. Like, he literally just, like, thinks he was found guilty for no reason.
Yeah.
Just like he probably thinks that Jesus didn't exist for no reason.
Well, it's just funny, like, what is the half-truth? Cowdery was only telling half the truth.
He was actually, I'm actually right and he's wrong.
Yeah, it's like, what's the part that he's agreeing with? Like, if the charges were groundless and he was honorably acquitted, is he saying, yeah, they were groundless, but he was guilty? Or is he saying, no, they had grounds, but he was honorably? Like, what's the half-truth there? This is crazy.
He is lost. But he should get a Nobel Prize because he figured it out. He's the first one to ever find indisputable proof that Joseph Smith was convicted of fraud. Brother. And for anyone watching this, we don't know. Nobody knows. The official court documents that he's talking about that he thinks he found don't exist. They're gone.
But this is Josiah Stowell's case, right?
Yes.
So, like, what we do know is that the guy who was supposedly being defrauded in the courtroom
was like
testified that he was not being defrauded.
Mm-hmm.
And his nephew, who was bringing up the case, was like, dude, shut up. I'm trying to get us some money. So, with those details, if you're the judge, think about how you would, what's it called? How you would verdict?
Rule?
Yeah, think about how you would rule.
Think about verdicting your own book, Mr. Atheist Jesus Denier. I'm going to bring up that he's a Jesus denier over and over and over again because if someone is actually a Jesus denier, you can't trust their
There's
opinion
more
on
evidence
anything.
that Jesus existed than Joseph Smith, probably.
You might be onto something. Anyway, we're going to take a little fast forward to chapter 6.
Okay.
Oh,
great.
This one's really going to push you.
Yeah, I'm going to lose my mind.
So here we have one tip-off of the Book of Mormon's 19th century origins is its blatantly racist attitudes toward dark-skinned ethnic groups and Africans in particular. For nearly 150 years, blacks were not allowed into the priesthood, which, in Mormon terms, meant they were locked out of heaven and could forget about becoming a god. But in 1978, the church finally bowed to public criticism, or, if you prefer, President and prophet Spencer W. Kimball received a divine revelation that all worthy male members of the church would be eligible for priesthood and temple blessings. Why couldn't they join the priesthood before then? Because Africans were cursed with black skin before they were born when they were pre-existent spirit children in heaven. Brigham Young had declared in 1854 that the curse would only be lifted after all the other children of Adam received their resurrection from the dead. Oh, so the curse would eventually be lifted, so they could go to heaven.
I don't think...
He contradicts himself all the time.
I've never heard that quote.
Yeah, me neither. He doesn't quote it either. Yep, no citation. The church has yet to come up with a good explanation for why the ban on black priesthood was rescinded ahead of schedule. Given no good reason for the change of public policy, the news came as a shock to the flock. Nice rhyme. Well done. And not all the saints were willing to accept it, just as they had when the church abruptly flip-flopped on polygamy. The staunchest of believers left the church in disgust and joined the fundamentalist Mormon breakaway sects.
Again, no citation, no examples. So... I hate the way he tries to jump from the Book of Mormon's 19th century origins is that up until 1978, there was racist attitudes in this American church. It's like, no, the Book of Mormon
I knew
is
this part
like
would get you, dude.
explicitly not 19th century in the way that it talks about Native Americans who were considered subhuman by most 19th century authors. It's like, no, they're actually the covenant people of God. And it's our job as Gentiles to fulfill God's covenant with them and to serve them. Like, this is like remarkably not 19th century. And that's what Bushman talks about in Rough Stone Rolling. He's like, anyone who tries, like, there's certain things, like, it talks about like liberty and like certain things, like, oh, this kind of sounds like maybe American vibe, whatever. But like, for every thing that sounds like it's a 19th century thing, there's way more things that are out of place. Where you're like, this doesn't make any sense. Like this
is ancient.
Yeah, this is remarkably, and it doesn't talk about Africans. Let's just be 100% clear. There are 0 Africans.
No, yeah, 0 reference.
text
And
of
he
the
just
Book of
says like,
Mormon.
yes, and the Africans in the Book of Mormon are said to be cursed. No, he's like just lying. That's
But
just
yeah,
wrong.
There's a phrase in Semitic literature called skin of blackness. Job 30, verse 30. Look it up right now. Job is, actually, I'm pulling it up.
He's bringing the
I'm
receipts.
crashing out.
I knew it.
Out.
I gotcha. I knew this part would get you because your 2 pet peeves are people claiming that the Book of Mormon is like a pure 19th century fabrication, ignoring all the evidence, and then totally misconstruing the history of Black Latter-day Saints. And this does both in one single swing.
It just bothers me. It's just like the implicit racism of just like the way people talk about members of our faith that aren't white. They're just like, yeah, these people are being taken advantage of. It's like, no, you are just imposing your own racism.
Yeah,
where
absolutely.
you think that they're not informed, or you think that they can't navigate like complicated issues or like nuanced historical details. But let's go to Job. Let's just go to Job and let's just see this kind of this skin of blackness, because Job was African, right? I'm sure everyone thinks that. Let's just go Job chapter 30, verse 30. Well, let's actually start here at verse 27. And let me make it big for when we edit this. All right. So this is what Job says. My bowels boiled and rested not. Do you think his bowels actually boiled?
Yes. It was a curse.
The days of affliction prevented me. I went mourning without the sun. I stood up and I cried in the congregation. I am a brother to dragons. Do you think he actually has a brother that's a dragon?
Yes.
And a companion to owls. Do you think he has a companion that's an owl?
Okay, that one actually might be true.
My skin is black upon me. Do you think his skin is like, do you think he's African now?
Oh,
Do you think that like he became an African?
Yeah.
My bones are burned with heat. My harp also is turned to mourning, and my organ into the voice of them that weep. And you have at least 10 uses of this idiom in the Old Testament. Now, you're right. 19th century, let's talk about 19th century origins. Did Americans in the 19th century know about this Hebraic idiom? Did they identify it? Like, oh yeah, that's the chromatic metaphor of dejection from Semitic texts. No, they didn't know that, but there it is in the text. Strange, right?
Well, no, it's actually just 19th century.
Dude.
Citation, not included.
Make me lose my
Also,
mind.
if you follow most of this guy's citations, dude,
Go
websites.
nowhere.
Websites.
Oh my
Literally just like
gosh.
websites and blogs.
Just like Reddit threads.
Yeah, like he literally is just like, and MormonThink.com says this. And what's the other one that he commonly cites?
Mormon Research Ministry.
Oh, yeah. Nowscape. Nowscape.com. Like this dude just literally decided he could make a quick buck by trying to like dunk on the Mormons.
Well, I think people just don't realize like just today, I was poking around on Exmo Reddit, and there was this girl who was like, I'm just like so scared to actually look into the truth claims of the church because I'm scared I'll come back. I thought that was funny. And people were like, no, dude, you just need to do the deep dive. You just need to like read the CES letter. Read No Man Knows My History by Fawn Brody.
Oh, he loves
And it's
Fawn
like-
Brody too. That's
The same, it's just fascinating. Like you have these ex-Mormons who are like, when I was in the Mormon church, I was told not to question the Mormon church, which like, I will validate that. Like maybe they had people that told them that.
Mhm.
But then it's like the irony where they go, so then I decided to question the Mormon church, and I decided to not read this thing called the CES letter and not ask any questions.
Oh,
I decided to read No Man Knows My History and not ask any questions. And it's like the same like blind faith that they're like, I was manipulated into this blind acceptance of everything. They just do that with anti-Mormon sources.
yeah.
And it's like,
It's unbelievable the presumptuous attitude people have about like the cringiest books and like the CES letter. It's like the cringiest document of all time. Like it's just so lame. And like in every comment section, it's like, if you read the CES letter, you're literally going to be compelled intellectually and you will have zero ability to disagree with me. It's literally a silver bullet that proves everything I want to prove in life. And if you read it, you will automatically agree with everything.
So if you're a happy Mormon, do not open the CES letter.
If you are doing well, don't even consider being a free thinker like me. No, these people don't stop to question, oh, maybe we have incredible evidence that Jesus existed.
Yeah.
They don't stop to like question the gaps of atheism. They don't. If you've seen Alyssa Grenfell's video on atheism, we need to do a video about it. It is awful. Like zero philosophical understanding. Like zero. It is terrible reasoning to believe in atheism. And I'm like, dude, if she could approach atheism with the same like attitude she approaches Mormonism,
no, that's exactly what it is.
She'd be the next freaking William Lane Craig. She'd be arguing for theism. And she would do really good at it. She'd be like, what they don't tell you about the atheist church is that there actually is no ultimate purpose to your life. And that is really damaging for atheist communities.
It's true. Wow, that's pretty good.
Thank you.
Dude, yeah, it's like I decided to become a critical thinker. So I just blindly accepted other stuff instead of what I was blindly accepting before. And we're not like, you should not blindly accept.
Yeah, no, we're not about that.
Claims. That's not what we're arguing for. But yeah, it's just this idea of like people write books like these that are just terrible, and people just are like, oh yeah, it's a book, right? So it's probably correct. It's like, unfortunately, anyone can self-publish a book,
and I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, should we keep going?
It gets worse. You're gonna crash out even worse on this one.
Things to do in Mormonism when you're dead. The Mormon afterlife. Oh my, no.
Yep, read it.
Mormon theology has it all over its fellow Western religions when it comes to the afterlife. You want a heaven? Bam. Here's 3 of them. Muslims get 72 new bile.
I don't know, man.
And ever-willing virgins, but Mormons get as many wives as they can collect, plus all their children, too. And not only that, worthy Mormon men have the potential to become exalted to godhood themselves. And as of 1978, that now, dude, this is probably the book that Cliff Nettle read, bro. When Cliff Nettle was on Oregon campus, like, well, all the Mormon women that I know, and trust me, I know a lot, they don't know if they're going to heaven or not.
No citation.
Yeah. Dude.
No citation.
This is...
Where, David, brother.
We need to start suing for defamation.
I know. Bro. I paid money for this book, and this is garbage. This is stealing my money. I bought this book because I thought I was going to get free thinking. What I really got is you just saying that only Mormon men get exalted, when that is probably the worst claim I've ever heard in my life.
Here's the next worst claim you've ever heard in your life. The journey to godhood begins on Kolob. Depending on which Mormon you ask, Kolob is the name of the planet where God, whose name was Elohim, lives.
No. Okay, this is so bad. No citation again. Everything you see about Kolob is that it's the star nearest to the throne of God. And he's like, Mormon women are stupid and don't become gods, and they're just idiots because they stay in the church anyway. And then Kolob is just a planet where God lives, I guess. Don't ask me where I got that.
Well, it depends on which Mormon you ask.
Oh, yeah, depends on... Sorry.
If you ask former elder Brian Dalton, that's what he'll tell you.
If you charge people money for a book on Mormonism, know what you are talking about and cite your sources. This is a joke, David Fitzgerald. A joke. And Jesus existed. Like, I don't know what to tell you. He existed. So this is exactly what I expect from someone who doesn't think Jesus existed.
Oh, this is awesome.
All right, this is the next. So, a chart courtesy of nowscape.com. We have so this is the plan of salvation.
Every Mormon Every Mormon knows this is what we believe, guys.
Yep.
They got us.
So I don't know where you start.
You.
There's
you.
no okay, let's see.
Why does it say you everywhere?
So we start as Jehovah,
Beelzebub, Jehovah.
and then we become wife 1, 2, and 3.
Kolob like Earth.
Jehovah
What?
becomes Jesus, becomes the Virgin Mary, becomes Beelzebub.
Okay, where's the pre-existence?
Wait, where?
Are you sure? Oh, yeah, I see. Okay.
Wait, no, that's the end.
No. That's the beginning. We end. We end. Let's just start with spirit children.
Well, because it says your Kolob-like planet and your
Because
wives.
there's 2 U's. I'm actually seeing why they put you everywhere, because it's like maybe there is no starting point. But let's take the U to the left. Spirit children to the left. You go to Earth.
Okay.
You commit baptism for dead people. You die.
Zoom in on this so everyone can see.
I feel like, well, no, we can make it big if you want. You die, then you get more lessons if you're dead. Then you get resurrected to one of the kingdoms. If you go to the celestial kingdom, you go back to spirit children. This is all in Planet Kolob, I guess. That's important. In constellation Cancer. Wow, he knows where Kolob is. That's another big breakthrough.
Yeah,
in Mormon
no,
studies.
dude, give this guy an award because he's figuring everything out.
But dead people, some dead people go to hell, which is Beelzebub. Okay, which has a line drawn to Jehovah and the Virgin Mary.
Beelzebub is not Jehovah or the Virgin Mary, David.
Okay, then
I don't know what Nowscape is selling you, dude. Nowscape.com, the reputable source.
for Mormon studies.
Yep.
And then you get your own Kolob-like planet with your wives, etc. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is just a mini version of what we saw over here. Yeah, this is groundbreaking, man. This is awesome.
This is quite literally the most brain dead project anyone has ever done. Whoever put this chart together, I'm going to pray for this person. And I'm going to pray that they are okay. Because if you believe it, like, unless they're just lying, then I'm not going to pray for you. But if someone genuinely thinks this is what we believe, wait, is that Moroni?
Yeah, they were like Moroni with an A, Maroni. It's not in there, so let's just put him on Planet Kolob.
What is Moroni doing there?
Oh, I love
What?
that. That's great. That's genius. If you ever don't know about a religion, just spam their terms.
David Fitzgerald, you are charging people money for this book.
Dude, yeah, Larry Fitzgerald's definitely better.
Yeah,
dude.
dude.
Sure. Going into this, I was like, well, maybe David.
Yeah, no,
Who's
but
this
Larry,
new David
I
cat,
can
you know?
say without question that Larry Fitzgerald is better after this.
No. David, leave us alone, dude. The original temple garments led to whatever. What? Okay.
An unfortunate suit of long underwear. You know what, David? Your underwear are unfortunate.
Yeah, how about we get an underwear? You're revealing ours.
Yeah,
Which
show
is
us your
weird
underwear,
drawings. Yeah, let's
David.
get an underwear reveal. Let's see it. Let's see the Calvin Kleins. I bet you don't even wear Calvin Kleins. You probably wear like something uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
bet that's unfortunate for you, man.
You know what's unfortunate is you don't think Jesus existed.
People who are it's kind of funny because there's a correlation. People that are obsessed with other people's underwear are more likely to have a restraining order where they can't go within 60 meters of an elementary school. I'm not saying that's him. I'm just saying that is a real trend. Like
That is a
people that are
correlation. There is
just
a correlation
obsessed
there.
with other people's underwear. But yeah, let's just do a quick garment breakdown though for the viewer. Maybe you're not a member of the church. The garment of the priesthood worn by the priests in the Old Testament is a theme of our modern temple worship, because in our modern temple worship, according to the vision of heaven in the book of Revelation, starting in chapter 2, you have a vision of heaven where the throne of God is surrounded by kings and queens, priests and priestesses. So we are all anointed to become priests and priestesses surrounding the throne of God. It also represents the covering, the skins that God gave Adam and Eve when they left the garden, which is a symbol of the atonement. of Jesus Christ, which is our covering as we enter into the presence of God. And I feel like I'm missing another symbol.
I've got some stuff for you. So I'm gonna airdrop you this real quick because I didn't plan on talking about this. Baylor's been getting on me for not sending him all the stuff we're gonna talk about beforehand. So I want everyone to know that I didn't plan on bringing this up. So this picture I just sent is a picture of the Catholic Eucharist. A priest. So if you notice, oh wait, sorry, it's not up yet. So if you notice what this priest is wearing right behind this barrier, there's like a little step up in a lot of Catholic churches. And in this little area back there is the Eucharist, which they believe to be the physical, actual body and blood of Christ, or the presence of Christ. And these holy vestments, this robe which the priest puts on, is what he has to do in order to go into the presence of God. He takes the presence of God, he blesses it, facing the altar, and he turns around then, and he represents God to the people, administering God to the people.
Wow.
We have something very similar in our temples. We are clothed before we enter into the presence of God. And we do so because that is what makes us holy. That's what sets us apart. And we enter into the presence of God. And in Catholic services, you have just the priest do that, right? He is then administering the ordinances of God to the people. But in LDS temple rituals, we all are being ordained and anointed as kings and priests. So we all receive the holy vestments at the present, or to go into the presence of God. Yeah. And then we all are supposed to represent Christ to the people throughout our lives. That is what we're doing with the garment. And this is something that isn't new. If you go back to ancient Egyptian temples, they would have a statue of the pharaoh, and they would move it through. They would have a story of creation. It would represent like the marshes where there's like the water, the first things that are coming out of the waters of creation. And they would move the pharaoh through the rooms of the temple up until it reaches the statue of the pharaoh, the most high place, the holiest place, which is where the God dwells, the presence of God. And in order to enter into that spot, they would have to reclothe the statue of the pharaoh, because you have to have holy vestments. You have to be clothed and covered by a symbol in order to enter into the presence of God. We're doing the same thing with our garments, and they don't freaking look like this. I hate when people just find, did he just draw this himself?
Are you trying to say that ancient Israel borrowed religious themes from the Egyptians?
And the Assyrians, yes. And the Mesopotamians.
Like circumcision, or the story of the rich man being in the bosom of Abraham.
Mm-hmm. And way more.
Cool. All right. Well, I remember my other thing. Hebrews 6, look it up. Jesus Christ is the veil. He is the veil. Our garments share resemblance with the veil in the temple, and that's another way in which we are wearing the atonement of Jesus Christ, which the veil stands between the presence of God and us. Like on this earth right now, there's a veil between us and heaven. And the veil, the thing that we must go through, the only way by which we can be saved and return to the presence of God, is Jesus Christ. That's why he's the veil. And we're reminded of that every day, wearing the garments of the priesthood. So it's awesome.
All right. Now that we
taught a little temple prep lesson.
This drives me insane.
Oh my gosh.
Gets worse.
I don't want to do this. Though an Illinois man came forward.
Sorry, this is about, I didn't include it because
about
the Kinderhook plates. Mm-hmm.
Though an Illinois man came forward 36 years later and admitting that the plates were forgeries made by himself and two other men to trick Joseph Smith, the church continued to assert that they were genuine. No, they didn't. Mysteriously enough, however, the actual plates had disappeared during the Civil War. Cool. And for nearly a century, all 6 plates remained lost. Then in 1962, a BYU professor rediscovered one of them. It was mislabeled as the original gold plates of the Book of Mormon. Ironically enough, this guy, student of BYU, was delighted and was certain that the plates were genuine and proved Joseph Smith to be a true prophet and translator of ancient records by divine means.
Okay, hold on. That quote, no citation. I wanted to look up and see if that was true because we have no translation of the Kinderhook plates.
You wanted to look up and see if this quote from this random student, this random president of the BYU Welby W. Ricks. You were like, did Welby W. Ricks really say that?
Yeah, I wanted to see that because what translation would he be checking the Kinderhook plates against? Because we don't have a translation. We literally don't. And that doesn't have a citation.
It would be really helpful. What's this guy's name? David.
Yeah.
Not Larry Fitzgerald. It would be very helpful, David, if you included the translation of the Kinderhook plates. You could actually win another one of your prizes that you're accumulating.
Yeah, he could. He really could.
Groundbreaking discoveries in Mormon history.
But he doesn't include what was translated from the Kinderhook plates. It's almost like Joseph didn't translate anything from the Kinderhook plates.
You know, it's kind of fascinating, though. He did look at the Kinderhook plates, and he said, this symbol looks like this Egyptian symbol. And he was right. It did look like that. That's the only thing we have record of. But, yeah, it'd be really cool if you can bring forward that translation of the Kinderhook plates. You can blow the lid off this whole thing.
Go to the next. So, they verified that it was indeed one of the genuine original Kinderhook plates and not some modern forgery. It was unfortunately for Ricks, I don't know who that is, that the genuine original plate was also a genuine fake made of 19th century metal alloy. Reaction from LDS apologists changed swiftly to keep up with current events. They quickly went from proudly crowning that Joseph Smith had been vindicated to insisting that he rediscovered the plate. The rediscovered plate was a modern forgery of one of the genuine original plates. And
This guy just making up his own stories?
I think so. And when that option was removed, completely flip-flopped by saying that, yes, the plates had always been a forgery, but that Joseph Smith had not been fooled for a second. But Joseph's own statement on the record and multiple attestations of the wonderful testimony of the Kinderhook plates for years in different church publications, and they're still available, makes you wonder, who do you think they're fooling?
Did you go to the citation for they're still available?
No. Should we check it out? CCCXXXI. Also, dude, just put numbers. Why are you doing Roman numeral citations? Maybe that's why this isn't accepted by any actual publication.
It's like citing websites instead of primary sources, and the Roman numeral thing is just like trying to dissuade people from
so these
looking at the sources.
These things are on page 265, and then it'll be at the end of that chapter.
Oh, I see.
But while you're trying to find that, like, what does he think we think about the Kinderhook plates? Like, and also if it wasn't proven until freaking the 60s or whatever he just said.
For instance, see Joseph Smith's statement. Link available on MormonThink.com.
Read a book, David. Come on. Read a book.
I'm looking it up, David. You're not going to stop me.
What are you looking up?
MormonThink.com.
Oh, no.
I'm not letting the Roman numerals get the best of me. Where's our thing? Here we go. Okay.
Did he just cite MormonThink.com? Not even a specific URL?
No, yeah, it's the URL here.
So, for those who maybe aren't familiar with the history of the Kinderhook plates, you have the plates that are found. Someone brings them to Joseph Smith. And they're like, hey, we got these plates. Can you translate them? And he looks at it and he thinks that the first character is the word for Ham. And he's like, oh, maybe this contains the record of the people of Ham. And he never translates anything. He never produces a text from the Kinderhook plates, ever. Never once. And you have a journal entry, quote journal entry, written by Joseph's scribe. So Joseph would have his scribes write things that were happening because Joseph hated writing. So this isn't like Joseph's own thing. And you have Joseph's scribe who later recollects that Joseph translated a portion of the characters and concluded that they contained the history of the people of Ham. That's the quote people love to bring up because they're like, oh, Joseph Smith translated this entire freaking book of Ham from these fake plates. But there's no such thing. There's no translation. And William Clayton probably was just like, oh, look, he seems to think that that character is Ham. And that character actually looks like the ancient Semitic character for the name Ham. Like Joseph was learning languages at the time, and he probably was like, oh, that kind of looks like ham. Not the food. It wasn't like a honey-baked ham. It was the person, Ham. In case anyone's confused. David might get confused.
It's not coming up. Mormon Think's not working with me. Come on.
Oh, no.
Come on, Mormon Think.
Oh, no,
It's
David.
like looking at this URL, though. It's kind of a weird URL. It's like HC for History of the Church, 372 to 379. It's like 5 pages just in the URL. .htm.
And it's not coming up?
Well,
sorry, David.
yeah.
That's what we got?
This is what MormonThink.com's given us. But in the meantime, while it tries to figure it out, here you have those characters you're talking about. So here's the character on the Kinderhook plates. And here's the character on the Egyptian grammar where Joseph was like, oh, kind of looks like that other character.
Yeah, there you go.
So if anyone wants to, Mormoner.org, guys.
Mormoner.org has a
Plug.
great article on
How
this.
do we get this to?
Also, if you want
It's a great article on everything.
If you want the best treatment of this issue, read Don Bradley's paper on it. I think it's free. I think you can just search up Don Bradley Kinderhook plates, and it's a fantastic article. And if someone brings up the Kinderhook plates, I just know that they're
They know nothing.
yeah. Anyways, I don't think it. Do you know of anyone who was like, oh, for years, the Kinderhook plates actually are genuine. This is just a forgery of genuine plates. Why would anyone defend that?
Why would anyone
Because if we don't have a text that comes
Yeah.
from it. So, like, I'm really skeptical of this.
there's nothing to defend.
It's either, he either is, like, completely misunderstanding whoever he's talking about. He's making it up, which, unfortunately, I
No,
wouldn't
he's
put him past
making
at
it
this
up
point.
because he says there's countless examples of the Mormon Church affirming the Kinderhook plates. It's like, no, there's not. No one knew. They didn't even know about like the seer stone. The church didn't even know about the seer stone like in like common dialogue till like the last 10 years. You think they knew about the Kinderhook plates before the internet?
Drives me
Just
insane.
random detail.
Anyway, so the last two little passages we have from this book, one of them, this one right here, he's giving us he's giving his friends some tips to like evangelize Mormons into atheism. Some of the best things you can do is point them towards information on early church history using church-sanctioned sources. Don't show it to them yourself. Don't try and read it to them or email it to them. Don't try and debate with them. Instead, point them towards resources that they can examine on their own. What does that say? The internet has an amazing wealth of material. David, you need to get off the internet, brother. You need to read some books. You need to read some scholarship. You need to pick up a book on ancient biblical scholarship because Jesus existed. And if you don't think so, you're lost. You're hopeless. And he cites out Mormon Think again. One especially excellent site is MormonThink.com, which is run by church members. I don't know if that's true.
Who knows?
I don't.
Doesn't matter.
No citation, and critically examines and compiles an enormous number of controversial facts from impeccable church-sanctioned first-hand sources.
Makes me kind of sad because even if he's like completely lying, this takes a lot of time. Like even if you're lying, this takes time. But it's a good example of like when you make a lot of stuff up, it's really easy to see through it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you want to be like a fraud, if you want to get away with stuff, you should make very vague claims, you know?
Yeah.
But the fact that there's like 170 something claims that since the Book of Mormon was published, people were like, this is an anachronism. This is a highly specific claim that shows that Joseph Smith's a fraud. And 170 something, I think it's 176, have been vindicated, where it's like, oh, it's actually not an anachronism anymore.
Anyway, he gives some fun questions to ask your Mormon friends, and we're going to answer them right here, live on the show. I'll ask you, okay? Just hypothetically speaking, if your religion was a hoax, would you want to know?
Would I want to know if it was a hoax?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay, great. Sounds
what's
good.
a
We'll go to the next
hoax? Well, what's a hoax, though? What do you mean a hoax?
I'll give you a hoax. This is a hoax. This is a waste of my money.
David, if your book's a hoax, do you want to know?
Yeah, David, if your research on freaking the internet about Mormonism was a hoax, would you want to know?
Okay, I'll ask you this one. How do you think the church would be different if it wasn't true? What do you think that church would look like?
I think it would probably yield poorer results. I don't think the members would be as virtuous. I don't think we would yield the good fruits that we do. I don't think you would be having millions of people claim to have encounters with the divine, the Book of Mormon. I don't think you would have millions of people claiming that following the teachings of living prophets and apostles had made their lives better. I don't think you would see such a robust institution of scholarship and religious studies coming out of church universities and even non-church universities. And I think it would probably die out extremely fast after Joseph died.
Yeah.
Those are just a few things off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't think that you would see like that church amass wealth and manage its resources
Properly.
responsibly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think that if it did amass wealth, you would see widespread corruption where you have the people at the top making millions and millions of dollars off of the constituents. I don't think you would see a good humanitarian aid being given throughout the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you would see members of that church publishing in respected academic journals at higher rates than the national average. I don't think you would see...
Not this self-published BS.
Like we're talking Oxford. We're talking like real peer-reviewed publishers. I don't think you would see that from the church if it wasn't true. Can we talk about Mormon archaeology? Sure.
What's Mormon archaeology, dude? What? There's no such thing as Mormon archaeology.
You're just trying to find the person of Mormon? Trying to find Mormon's house? What convinced you to become a Mormon? Follow-up question, if they say they grew up in the church. That's me. Have you ever wondered what religion you'd be in if you hadn't been born in a Mormon family? Yeah, it'd probably be the religion of whatever family I was born in, at least to start. That's kind of like what happens to everyone on Earth.
You kind of...
Doesn't that make you think atheism's true because there's more than one religion? Oh, good point. Never thought of that. Why is Mormonism so small compared to other major religions?
Why are you so small, David? You need to hit the gym, bro. I saw that video of you in that interview. You look small, your muscles aren't big, and you had cats all over your house.
Hey, man, you gotta be nice.
I know, I gotta be nicer. I've been crashing out on David, and I'm sure he's a nice guy, and I feel
bad. Yeah, I mean, Mormonism is not small for how long it's been around. Like, it's the only major world religion that's only been around for 200 years. So, but also prophecies about God's people in Mormon texts describe them as being few. So I don't expect.
Why did it take so long
to join the church?
Yeah, true. Why did it take so long for Mormonism to be revealed?
Well, I don't know what that means, but God has spoken to man since the beginning of time. God spoke to Adam, Enoch, Moses.
Do you think we just think no one ever did anything?
He spoke to
before
all the
1820
in the Old Testament, and God the Son. God spoke to us extensively when God the Son took on the flesh. That was when communication between God and man peaked. That's when there was the most of it. When we had a member of the Godhead here on earth walking amongst us. And then even after that, though, it didn't end. Paul spoke with this same God, and Peter received revelation from this God, and the author of Revelation. And there's a lot of good stuff, and God probably inspired people after then too that we don't know about. And
I'll challenge you there. Absolutely inspired billions of people every single day.
Yeah.
From every single day without question.
If all the sincere and God-fearing members of non-Mormon religions can be wrong about their faith, isn't that a sign that faith alone isn't a good? Yeah, I'd say yeah. I don't think faith alone is that doesn't make something true. If I have faith that the Earth's flat, it doesn't mean the Earth's flat.
Well, he uses faith in two different
Yeah,
he goes, if you can be wrong about your faith, noun,
religion,
then isn't faith a different noun?
Verb.
Yeah, well, isn't faith alone like the method? Not a good, no, like, David, this is so bad. This is so bad. I feel really bad. We haven't been nice to him at all.
But, you know, and people say we're mean. Here's the thing. If I wrote a book about David's worldview and it was really bad and really poorly researched, I would expect him to make fun of me and, you know, have some fun while debunking it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And maybe he will have some fun debunking this video in a new book.
Mormonism, unveiled, veiled again, unveiled again. That's
Mormonism, but we unveiled it and then revealed it and then unveiled it again so we could make some money on a book.
But there's no way he's made money off this, right? Do you think?
I don't know. He's made a book like this for like every religion. It's a series. A Heretic's Guide to Western Religion.
What about Eastern religion?
Woke, or not woke, sorry. Like freaking edgy atheists never critique Eastern religion, ever. I think they're like afraid of it because they're like, I don't want to be like mean. Like, it's okay to make fun of the Mormons or the Christians or the Jews, but it's not.
I don't want to make fun of
the Buddhists. Oh, never.
Talk about a high demand religion, bro. Like being a Buddhist, like monk.
Go to this last little screenshot here. There's just, he puts a couple quotes from ex-Mormons here at the end.
Oh, great. This will be really enlightening, I'm sure. The brainwashing in Mormonism is so incredibly deep. It's drilled into your head over and over from birth, and as a result, most Mormons exist in a completely altered state
They
of
just
reality.
they have babies, like literal like 3-day-old infants, and they're like, Moroni lives on Kolob.
Most Mormons
Get that through your skull.
Exhibiting any semblance of critical thinking is labeled as prideful. Okay? By who? You
No.
learn to trust gaps in your understanding and to avoid asking questions. It becomes a second nature as breathing. Why did the quote end? Is that just his commentary?
I don't know.
Exiting the church is incredibly difficult. People are condemned for even asking the hard questions. And people are disowned by friends and families for exiting. Many atheists haven't experienced being intensely... I can't see behind the camera.
Immersed in a...
Most atheists haven't experienced being intensely immersed in a brainwashed culture. Wow. Here's the thing, dude. Most families on Earth, if you decide to leave the way of life that your parents raised you in, they might not like respond to that in like the most like understanding and like patient way. Just like they should. Like I want there to be understanding and patience, and I think we see more of that, not only in our faith, but in every, even if your parents are atheists, free-thinking atheists, and you choose to become a Mormon, I doubt this guy would be like stoked about it.
Oh, no, not at all.
So, but we can't just like conflate like the reaction of our loved ones to us telling our parents that we find no value in the things that they taught us, or that we think they're not free thinkers, or that we think that it requires like brainwashing to believe the delusions that they've instilled in us. Like, just because your family and loved ones don't respond well to that, like, doesn't mean that it's like this institutionalized brainwashing that's so incredibly deep.
Yeah, cool, because brainwashing doesn't exist. I've done an episode on it. Go watch my interview with Dr. Lauren Dawson. It's fake. It's just like pop psychology. It's not real. And then I think it's always funny when people who leave any group, like, just kind of expose their own self. They're just like, when I was a Mormon, I hated minorities. And it's like, I don't, that's a you problem, dude. If you like, and this lady, she's like, I would not think critically. I didn't think about anything. It's like, I think about stuff. I think critically all the time.
It's like, luckily the CES letter exists. And that's the new thing that I don't think critically about.
It's like, if you, like, they say things as if it's like, oh, but that's the Mormon, that's the dirty Mormons up at the top. That's their fault. Maybe you just needed to critically think.
Or when it's like, there'll be some girl on Instagram and the ex-Mormons are like, this girl is not dressing modestly for a Mormon. When I was a Mormon,
dude,
I
yeah.
was taught to judge people like her. And it's like, whoa, you're the one judging.
You'll never see members in the comments do that ever. It's like flip-flopped. You probably would have like a while ago.
Yeah.
But now it's like all the ex-Mormons, it's like, oh, so we're just not doing the whole modesty thing anymore, huh? Shame on you.
Yeah.
And you're like,
They just bring out the most niche
you
things.
became what you swore to destroy. Come on. Because the goal isn't to make it better. The goal is to get them to leave. The goal is to score a point for your own
Yeah.
worldview. You feel better when other people will leave and join you. You're like, oh, okay, that makes me feel better. And actually, this isn't interesting. We're going to wrap this up because I think it kind of sums up a little bit of what's going on here. But a while ago, me and my wife were flying home, and our plane got rerouted. We were about to land in Salt Lake, like 10 feet off the ground. It was too windy. They picked up, rerouted us to Vegas. And then we land in Vegas, and we're like, this is awful. But luckily, my family was in Vegas. They had an extra car. They were like, you guys can just drive home if you want. And the people over the intercom on the plane were saying, we don't know when we're going to be able to take off again. We could be here for a while. Like, we'll just let you know. Our flight crew just timed out, so we're waiting for a new pilot. We don't even have a pilot. So my wife and I were like, okay, let's not risk this. We're not going to take a gamble on this. Let's just drive home. So we left the airplane. And they told us, they're like, once you get off the airplane, you can't get back on. You're deboarded. Your ticket is no longer valid.
Yeah.
And we kept checking the flight status as we were driving home because we were like, I want to know if we made the right choice. And I found myself hoping that this flight would keep getting delayed.
Yeah.
And I realized, I was like, why am I doing that? I've already made my decision. I'm staying on this course. Why am I hoping that these other people are going to be stuck there longer?
Yeah, you're hoping that they have a miserable
Yes.
experience waiting on this plane.
Exactly. And I realized this is the same thing people do with religions, with politics, with any group that you leave. You want to feel justified in that decision. So it's better in your head if these people are miserable. It's better. You just want to feel validated in your decision. And we all do. That's how it works. Like, members do this too. Like, we want to feel validated that people leaving the church are miserable. Like, that's just part of human life.
Yeah.
But it would be a lot better if we didn't do that. And that's my yap sesh that I'm finishing up.
Amen, dude. And on that note, dude, if you're someone who has left the church over the Kinderhook plates or Martin Harris's Spiritual Eyes or something stupid, and you're like, frick, like, sorry, maybe I shouldn't make light of it, because it's like you've made these significant life changes.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't feel good about this. Or if you're someone who's a member of the church and you've, shunned people away because they didn't believe the earth was 7,000 years old or whatever, and you've been a jerk, just know it's okay. Take a breath, start from square one. Don't get overwhelmed. Try to separate the emotions of rooting for your side to win from what is true, what is best for you, and what is, going to bring the most happiness into your life and the lives of those around you. So.
And that's on gang. Sorry, David. I'll not be buying any more of your books.
Yeah.
I bet you're a cool guy, but everything you need to know, from Sacred Underwear to the original Battlestar Galactica, a must read. Dr. Richard Carrier, author of Not the Impossible Faith, Why Christianity Didn't Need a Miracle to Succeed. I disagree with Richard Carrier. Sorry, this book wasn't good at all.
There you have it. All those in favor, please manifest it by clicking the like button and by subscribing. All those opposed, please do so by the same sign, and we'll catch you next time. Please tell me why. do it live.